Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to repeat our mouse trail example using the for loop. So our design here will be much simpler. We can go quicker. We still have the idea that our mouse pointer is somewhere on the screen, and we're still going to draw a series of circles that go up and to the right. But in this case, we're always going to draw 5. Okay, so I'm going to count those out. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Regardless of where the mouse pointer is, I'll draw those 5 circles. If it happens to be that the mouse pointer is clear up here, maybe only one of them will actually appear. The others will be sort of drawn someplace off screen, which in processing really isn't that big of a deal. But in any case, I'm always going to draw 5. So since I know at the beginning how many I'm going to draw, that's a perfect situation for a for loop. So let's really quickly sketch draw for this application. Okay, in our draw method, we're still going to need to save the location of our mouse pointer in some variables. Okay, but now what we'll do is have a for loop. We'll say for I goes from 0 to 4, and obviously when we do the actual development we'll have the correct syntax there, but this means we're going to repeat this 5 times. So we'll make our ellipse. Let's see, we had 10, 10, I believe. And then what we'll do is modify the values of these so that we go up and to the right again. So that was adding 30 pixels to the x variable and subtracting 30 pixels from the y variable. Okay? So there we go. It looks very much like what we had before in the previous mouse trail example. The difference obviously is in the loop, and our condition now will be based on counting rather than on where these x and y coordinates end up. Alright, so let's go to the computer and let's implement this.
Okay, let's go ahead and implement our new mouse trail sketch. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. And I'll just put it on my desktop. Call it Mouse Trail 2. And it'll look very similar to what we had before. We're still going to have our setup method. And the setup method is designed to set the size of the screen and turn on smoothing. And that's about it. And then our draw method, again, will look very similar. I'm going to have to erase my background, and I think I forgot to put that in the algorithm, but since it's an animated series of circles, I'll have to do that. Then I need to record the location of my mouse pointer, and then I'll have my for loop. Okay, and here's how this syntax would work. I declare my integer counter variable, initialize it to 0, and then as long as I is less than 5, I will keep going. So that's how I count from 0 to 4, or 5 times. And then my update expression will just add 1 to I. Okay, now inside the body of the loop, what we need to do is draw our circle. So we'll do that with the ellipse method at the x, y coordinates, and it's a 10 by 10 circle. And then we update our values of x and y. So add 30 pixels to x, subtract 30 pixels from y, and there we go. That's our draw method for this particular situation. Okay, so we use the for loop to count 5 times, draw 5 circles that go up diagonally. So let's see how this works. Here we go. Oh, I guess what I forgot is I forgot to set the fill color, didn't I? Thought maybe there was something goofy I forgot to do in setup. So let's fill all of our circles with red. There we go. Now I have 5 circles that follow my mouse pointer, and If I'm in a corner, several of them are off the screen, but that's okay. So the for loop is used in counting situations like this one. All right, next up we're going to look at the last type of loop in processing, which is called the do-while loop. We'll do that pretty briefly, and then we'll move on to the concept of nesting loops, which is similar to nested if statements like we had in the previous chapter.